Dear United Business community, we need to talk. For those who don't know, hello, I'm Shin. I stream every day for the past 3 weeks on Twitch, been non-stop United Biz. I have currently overtaken in terms of hours. We have about 200 hours in the game total. I have about 500 hours in Warframe and about 400 hours in The First Ascendant. And across numbers, I've been playing gacha games for 4 years. The first thing that we need to get off in United Biz, there's no such thing in endgame. Stop taking people's advice, saying initiatives the endgame, focus on initiatives. Don't take that advice unless the character you want is in there. The reason why I don't think there's any endgame in United Biz because there's no such thing as an end of farming. You're going to farm no matter what. If it's something small, you're going to farm. If you're going to change your build, you're going to farm. Just let me indirectly, if we want to improve this community, first thing first, please, we need to build a strong player base with the community and make sure the core community or the core players are nice to each other and help each other out in terms of player base. Don't listen to people that express their build, or this is the build to go for, or this is a weapon you need to build, or this is OP right now, building now. Yes, there are some OP wedges that are meta in quotation marks, but meta will change all the time, so we don't want to have that mentality. Oh, let's just build meta because meta is like beneficial for us. Essentially, there's some characters that do need to be built first to help your account progress, but that's not the problem. The problem is the characters are not well designed. Weapons are not technically doing what they should be doing, which is damage. And demon wedges, they're kind of vague in what they do. There's some but we need to help the lower players out that are coming out, or that are new to the game, and we need to treat them with like how we treat with people in Warframe. We don't overload them with advice. We tell them what to focus on first. And credit to the devs in terms of the devs are good. Don't get me wrong. Yes, they do play similar to the gacha game, but we do feel restricted in terms of gameplay. We're forced to build the characters. We're forced, like in general, to have the characters not have a clear design, where we kind of don't want that. And we're forced in a way to build one build 24/7 and have just that one build fix everything. And I know, as much as me, I would not like my game in terms of later on, 2 years down the line, to be forced to build a lot. In terms of demon wedges, they're not that grindy in my opinion. You can get through them. They just take a couple of days. At the end of the day, I still think Warframe is worse for that shit. Take my opinion with a grain of salt because I've played Warframe. But we do need our secret letters. We need to fix. We need to have something ahead of time that helps us to not fall into this trap where we're stuck and do nothing. We also need to fix a lot of things with the game in terms of character customization. That's like a major point in terms of the dyes. I think they should allow us to keep the dye colors, but allow us to use our black and white gold variants of dyes to darken the color or brighten the color. To be exact, there needs to be more ways for free-to-play players to earn the crystals, the hourglasses, all the accessible for customization. and not just get it through events, because events is just gonna die. Content is not being pushed as much as it should for a game that's brand new. Some characters like Saval and Randy and Rhythm feel very restricted in how they want you to play. Yes, Rhythm has some tech slash ways to be more advanced, but you're kind of stuck in a way that they want you to play. This game feels as although it's supposed to be a loose shooter at the end of the day, a hack and slash loose shooter, I feel nothing but it's a gotcha game in terms of gameplay. And we need to fix this in terms of the community needs to come together. We need to tell the devs what we want. And sometimes it might get through, sometimes it won't. But I don't know about you. I just feel this game is too gotcha heavy, or feels gotcha heavy, or I get it, it was supposed to be a gotcha game and then they pulled the plug last second. But the entire game needs to be ripped from... They need to go back to square one and try to fix everything. The no stamina, yes, it's a really good bonus because of how grindy they made the demon wedges. Like, imagine that with stamina. We do not want that. And then on top of all that, we have to... The secret letters are not great. As I said, we need something that will upgrade them to give us more things. We meet the weekly bosses, the bounty. We can do something like they have in Warframe or like in Destiny, where it's a raid and you can select your reward or have a random pool, weekly random pool, or make us build other characters. Because right now, a lot of bounties is just 4-stack Lady Naval and just shred the boss, control AoE, don't do nothing else, or use Psyche or use Lin, just things that control AoE. That's all it is. That's all I've been seeing in my 2 hours of gameplay, my 200 hours of gameplay. It's not really... There's no diversity in characters. There's nothing like we would want. The AI, it feels way too AFK, which is like a thing that also can kill the game in terms of grinding, because a lot of people does AFK, alt tab, watch anime, watch YouTube, whatever what they want. It's not really focused on the gameplay aspect. Why do we play games? We play games to have fun and to explore. Fuck this shit. And we want to enjoy our game. We don't want to sit here and farm or AFK farm. I don't mind the farming because you can always make farming fun and enjoyable by just sitting in a call and talking with friends and not really focusing on farming. But when it comes down to it, AFKing is better than actual moving, then we have a problem. We also need to fix... like in Warframe, they create an enemy with a laser beam. So if you sit AFK, that laser beam will stack up and could insta-kill you no matter what level you are, no matter how good you are. Hack and slash, you know. Yeah, like we need more in terms of it. More enemies need to be summoned. There's not... As a, how do I put this? It's not... I've nothing to worry about. It's like I can go set an auto clicker on the game, have it click through things, or just have a bot, or just get a bot for myself. Just program a bot to click 2 buttons and then just look at a wall and leave my PC on overnight. And I will have nothing to worry about because my enemies are like too weak, depending on the element, or too easy. like, as of now, the solutions I can think they can do in terms of nerfing us, make the drop rate. Nerf us for drop rate. Don't make us do any. Just make us go. If we don't move for X amount of time, well, your reward pool is halved. If you don't move for X amount of time again, your reward pool is done by 25%. If you don't move for, like, in terms of bosses, if you don't move or you're just spamming one ability over and over again, your defense or your damage gets halved for using that ability too much. And then focus on building up the weapons that actually do damage. Because right now we don't have weapons that do solid damage outside Lady Nafal's bow, Psyche's weapon, all those sick weapons. There's nothing that actually does damage. And you can... Well, a lot of characters are just one button. Yeah, that's the point. We're trying to negate it. And then we need also kind of like, for example, a prime example what they could do if they really wanted to. If you use the weapons that the characters need or use, you get like a 10% increase in damage, or you get a 10% increase in terms of skills, skill efficiency, depending on like the range. I think they need to ditch the weapon skills because it is nerfing their credibility that they can do. It's nerfing like a lot of stuff that they would want to do as well. On top of that, it doesn't help them at all. We kind of need to look at as a community. Let's not try start arguments because that's not going to help anyone. Yeah, like just add better mechanics to the game, and like bounties they should look at. Destiny, Warframe, look at Warframe sorties or Arcane Hunt, or even better thing they can do, make us explore open world. Make the open world fully co-op. And then on top of that, and then have raids at certain time zones, or make us go out of the main area and not us just sit in commissions and domains. Like Warframe has bounties, limited time bounties that you have to farm. They could probably add syndicates and make it stronger, where you can have like X syndicate with Carmela, for example. She can be like an outsider. She can be an outsider, kind of like Syndicate, and you get like anytime you shop in Iceberg or in the main arena, you can go and get you can go get 10% discounts, or they give you a powerful weapon that takes ages to farm, or make us just... Right now, I feel the trouble is we don't have enough content. And it's why people are saying, quote, quote, endgame is immersive theater when it shouldn't be. It should just be a thing that you farm every month. There's no bonus if you farm it every month. There's nothing in terms of that. As I saw in another video, I credit them down in the description. They said you have to grind up to level 40 to unlock all the acts, get all the yum milk, and the what's the other? And the bullets to create your weapons. It's a lot, and you're not getting rewarded for how much time you're putting in, which is the downside from what I'm hearing from the community. and we just want a bit of freedom. At least from my community, we want a bit of freedom in terms of building. There's like one build you go with, and that's your build for the entire game. Yes, there will be nerfs, but I doubt it. It's highly from looking at a Warframe perspective, they never really nerfed builds. They just nerfed the character's abilities. Like for a prime example, Dante, he used to be so broken that you just build him with insane range. Yeah, and the loot, like basically the loot you want is basically XP. It takes, at least for me, for someone that likes speed grinding, I feel like the chase is like the best thing to grind right now, because you grind globals, those lunar momental coins, and you'll, on top of that, you also grind what's the other word? You also grind the coins at the same time. You're grinding like 3 things at once. The defense very feels lackluster in terms of rewards. When you go up a level, it should be a lot higher in my opinion. You should, the longer you stay, the better rewards you get. It should be the narrative that it should treat, not you go in for 3 waves, come out, and then during 7 repeat, because that does take longer. It should be, and I feel like they need to add in a survival mode where people that are grinders that can test their builds just want to test them on how hard it is, or like maybe something like what Warframe did, add level cap where you get enemies where if you do a solo you get like weaker enemies on purpose, but you'll get less rewards. But if you do co-op, the enemy's armor be up to max, their health be up to max, their damage be up to max, and it'd be really hard to even pass it, let alone being able to clear it like solo with all the add-ons, and give us like debuff modifiers to nerf our builds, or overall in general give us proper endgame. The game, do I discover new to play the character? You might display the game in the same mode if it just feels copy and paste. Yeah, it does. Like for example, the prime example in terms of like copy and paste paths that we need to fix in commissions is the chase. You can legit complete this. And normally, if you don't know the route, it should take you 10 minutes plus. But the second you learn a route, it takes you 6 minutes, 4 minutes. Like, you can get it done in 5 minutes, and it's also faster. So there's no reason for me to go and play defense. In terms of someone who likes to grind efficiency, I get it, the devs care about our time, but the devs also need to focus on the grind people that want to grind long game. They need to focus on what the player base is, not in terms of the gotcha players, because the gotcha players will just tuck tail roam anytime grinding gets hard. And I've seen it because I've played Genshin. Genshin got too hard from some of my friends. They quit the game fully. Then they went to Honkai, they started playing Honkai, and then they quit that game fully because the grind got too tedious and too long just to get a build on a character. Then another one of my friends also quit WoA because you had to explore a lot more. But then they play ZZZ because ZZZ took the benefits of Genshin and Honkai and mixed both styles together. They made the grind less tedious, and it was so much easier to farm and grind up and make your character strong, which is the idea I think we're all forgetting. Is at the end of the day, these gotcha games have been used predatory tactics to try get us to buy these characters, but a lot of people do. And that's where you're going to thrive. This game is going to thrive off cosmetics alone, and they need to maximize cosmetics as much as possible. That's in the ways of adding deluxe skins that you can only pay with money, that gives unique animations that are not there for limited time, that are there for however long they want, but it's enjoyment. Some of the Christmas skins, like I would like to see like a Halloween seasonal effect on like a main hub area or like across all the towns. And then some that dies as well, like, are very risky to go for. In total, it generally just feels really lackluster overall. And you kind of don't want that when it comes to a game like this. It's going to... I have full doubt, I don't have a doubt in my mind that this game is going to succeed. Now, it's up to the devs how long they want that game to succeed. Because I don't see a world where it doesn't. But it comes naturally. If you want to open up the discussion even more, I forgot to mention this at the start of the video, I do stream on Twitch daily from Monday to Friday. I've only been making streams the past month on Saturday and Sunday because this game is new and I wanted to grind it and I didn't want to sit solo. But it's mainly Monday to Friday I stream from 9 BDST. Yeah, pretty much. I do think they need to take more of a Warframe approach as well with some of this and give us that idea, or do more live streams that are more interacting with the fan base, do more community notes, stay more up to date with the community, listen to the community, not do one live stream every launch. They need to move away from the gotcha element and turn it more into like being there, like make players think that they actually play the game and they actually care for the game. Not sit there and hoping for the best. Because at the moment, there's no... And for those who don't know, I am in the Discord server. There's only like one community manager or one like admin in the server that's actually creating that's actually there with the community. And yeah, it kind of feels, in total, it feels like we as United Knights Abyss is new and critique is, it feels like there's no identity for the game. They didn't know where they wanted the game to go, and they looked at gotcha and they thought gotcha would have cost too much to do, including cosmetics, and players would not been happy with it. So they did Plan Zero and they just ripped it out because money. Yes, money drives the world around, but we have to try as like us gamers. This famous saying is just answer with your wallet and don't try buy the cosmetics. Because in my opinion, it's just skins. If you really want that, then be my guest. But for me, there's no reason to pull out my wallet and buy the skins, because the skins are not unique to the characters. They're just recolored. of old skins. Oh yeah, and we do definitely I do understand that it is in the early stages. That's not the point. It's the point the devs need to try and answer us and not sit there. I would much appreciate if I can, like, if the devs want to sponsor me, I would much appreciate it. But I'm gonna continue to post more content. I have multiple guides in the works. I did find some on the beginning of the game that I might release. I'm not totally sure. But we need to fix it. We need to come together as a community to try fix this. And try to help the devs, not go against them, not try being negative, try give our like zero thoughts. That'd be another good thing. It would be nice if we kind of got acknowledgement that they listened. For example, Osu is a community-driven game, kind of like the way it is. But at least in their forums, anytime they do a rework or do anything new, they announce what the idea they took from player, and then they worked on it. Or even better, what they could do if they wanted to with these live streams, if they end up going ahead with them, they could do artwork competitions or like unique, like you pull a draw or you give away 3 stuffs every time, and they just have to be in stream communicating, or just type a secret word communicating in stream, which will pull people a lot. We need to stop comparing this game to Wua and Genshin and Hollyover's. The reason for it, because this game is not a gacha. We need to get that into our heads. We don't need to play late game. There's no such thing as late game. Sorry, gacha players, but there's no just in farming games. There's no such thing as late game. There's such things that building like meta for now and then changing your build, but there's no such thing as late game in this game. We need to fix it and have like a lot of, because at the moment your meta kind of quote meta build is you either run Lady Nafal, Lin, or Psyche. You run Psyche, then on top of running Psyche, you run Daphne, which gives us a crit bonus, and then Truffle with her, which increases, I think, Animal. I'm not totally sure, but I'll take a screenshot and I'll put it in editor shin. But we focus on that's like kind of Psyche and like go-to build. Just nothing really like. Apart from that, you farm Abyss or Mage. You farm that and you get all your weapons up to stronger. We need to have a stronger kind of base community in terms of more players. Yes, I did play Warframe since the start. I did play when Warframe was only a baby game, and to tell you the truth, Warframe was worse than this. They used to make you pay with cosmetics, like the currency in game, to revive yourself. And if you didn't do that, you had to wait for a revive or you'd be dead for the entire mission. But going at people's throats, like saying, oh, or trying to rage bait the Warframe community, because majority of people that do play this game are Warframe players. I hate to tell you that, but Warframe players enjoy these kind of games, these grindy games. Warframe players really do enjoy them. They will sit hours on end. Like in Warframe, my peak on survival is probably 30 to 60 minutes, or 30 minutes to an hour, I should say. Sitting in survival. There's nothing to quote unquote test our builds. The Sanctuary practice range feels very lackluster as well. It doesn't feel very helpful in a way. It's very bare bones, where I would like that to be touched upon, but again, they need to focus on characters. Make us less feel like we're playing a gotcha and more feel like we're playing an RPG or a hack and slash, where the hack and slash genre is purely on weapons. And if you want, you can go and look up Warframe. It's kind of like history. They started out as like a sci-fi following one person, and they changed into Warframe, keeping their sci-fi elements. Never really put harm to them or took away what you're trying to build. In terms of like the stuff like Genimon, that needs to be easier to obtain. Yes, you can have the Genimon there where you can capture and get the trait. But give every character, I don't know. But for those who don't want to farm Genimon, for those who don't want to farm the traits, would it be really, I want to know, I wish I had contact with a dev. I want to know how hard it would be to put those traits in the Abyss Maze, to really give the grinding players that want to grind that, to give us that extra edge. Like they can put one once a month, and probably like put a rare occasion, a very rare occasion, in an event shop. They put a piece, or have a trading system where we can trade stuff. It can start out as simple like just trading secret letters, or just trading like contracts, just something simple like that for like certain parts, or like for letters, which would also increase the high probability on the letters. I'm losing train of thought. And not making the teams feel very the same away with supports. Like for example, Rebecca, you just run Rebecca, Tabarari, and then Margie if you want damage. If you don't want damage, who else? I'm trying to think off the top of my head that you run. Like, more or less, I'm running out of things to say. More or less, we kind of want to focus on, let every character have their own like worth. There's not enough support characters for one. There's not enough element characters. So my answer to that for the devs, why are we still playing elements? Because from my perspective, I think you should rip the elements out of the thing. Because at the end of the day, it feels too much like a gotcha when you have that in. Just rip it out. And then yes, give some characters elemental attacks, but then give some characters like pure person through armor attacks, or being able to completely strip the armor from the enemies, or making skill damage go through the enemy's armor. go. You can be crazy. Like, just have a look. If I was the dev of this game, I'll have a look at Warframe and I'll have a look at their Warframe design and take some inspiration. Don't completely copy it. Like, yes, you could have someone like Saval should be able to one punch. Like some characters, Randy, his shield. Why did you not just give him like a shield barrage? Why does he have to have a shield? It feels very way too gotcha heavy when you put someone like that just to give him a shield. And also the other thing with the chats. Why isn't there like language chats? Split it up. Or if you don't want to do language chats, at least add in a translation bot that it doesn't have to be perfect, just so we understand what other people are trying to say or trying to communicate with each other. Because how, as a German, Japanese speaking and English, how am I supposed to understand that someone that's speaking Russian or speaking French inside the global chat? And what if they're asking for help or they need help with something and I can't understand that? I won't be able to talk to them and help them out without a translation or without me going out my way. Open up on a second monitor a translation, Google Translate, and type in what they're saying. It just feels like, yes, you want the community to come together, but you don't want the community to come together. You need to understand that a lot of languages are in Europe. Not so much on NA side, but there's a lot of language that are in Europe that a lot of people don't speak. Like Spanish, I don't speak. I know a lot of people that don't speak. But even though Spanish is so popular across multiple nations like Puerto Rico, Portugal. Well, Portugal speaks Portuguese. Brazil and Portugal speaks Portuguese. And then you have like Puerto Rico speaks Spanish. Then you have Spain speaks Spanish. A few other countries that I can't name off the top of my head that will also speak Spanish. But we don't. And it feels a lot like mixed opinions when it comes to scenarios where you want the community to be interactive, but at the same time you don't. And it does create a lot of dead, quote unquote dead. It makes the game or the community feel like a dead game. When I full on believe the community is not dead. It's just a lot of people don't want to jump into global chat or any kind of them chats when there's no... Because they could write a question in English and get a response in Russian. Or get a response in Spanish. And it's not direct to them. It's all over the place. And I feel like they want to be able to communicate with other people. And it's not that like there's like no fix to it. The fix is like just outside game. It's that's all it is. It's just an outside game fix. And it's not direct towards a fix in-game, but why should I go out my way just to learn, quote unquote learn? Why should I go out my way just to fix their language, or just to suit their needs? Because we have it's like, again, it is early stage, but we have devs that didn't add in a translation bot or didn't think about adding in a translation bot before doing it. Or even better, what they could do is add in code where it translates where the player can type in their own language, but it will translate. It will translate to them. It will like show the translation as they're typing. It will show the English translation to them, and then it doesn't rule out them typing their own language. Yes, it's gonna be broken English, but it's still the same way where English is the majority dominant speaking language, and it sucks to say that, but it is the more dominant speaking language. Like, I could go and learn German like fully and speak fully in German, and you don't know, like, some players could be talking bad about other players, being toxic towards the community, and that player doesn't know unless they go translate it. It's only very unless if they go translate it, that's when they find out, oh, this player is being toxic, this player is quote quote being an ass to me, so I'm gonna answer them with the same energy that they're given, which is just be an ass back. And then that creates a very toxic environment in the global chat where people just don't want to help. And yes, the issue is just report them. But the best I can give those players that do get lighted up by them quote quote toxic players, just don't communicate with them. Try your best. Like, if someone's being an ass towards another player, just ignore them if you don't have the mental fortitude for it. Yes, there's always going to be like bad people and not going to treat you normally, but just ignore them. Don't even think that they exist, because the main thing they want to get out of it is like, ha, I made him mad, I'm great, I feel great from that. They want to make you mad just so they can get satisfaction for their own needs or their own mistakes that they done, or they're having a bad day and they want to make someone else's days bad, and that's how they feel better about themselves. Again, it completely comes down to the player. In terms of things, please, devs, I actually beg you, do not fix any kind of movement tech that the game has. Because we need, it gives us that level of skill, or like, oh, it gives us stuff to talk about. It's a mechanic in the game. It's no point fixing it. Instead, focus on fixing more of a bug. So, for example, the Demon Wedge Duel. If you fly above opponents, even there's more than 10. Even if you're over them, like, it'll just a bullet jump over them. You get the damage buff and you shouldn't. Like that, yes, that's a bug that needs to be fixed. But I doubt that they might fix it. There's a doubt in my mind. I don't think they will fix it. If they do, fair play, devs. A lot of stuff that needs to be changed. Like, for example, the explanation on certain attributes, it feels very vague. It feels like it's like translated by a Google bot, or you didn't have anyone to translate. It feels like it's like broken English. Yes, I get it that it's not their first language, but good attempt on it. But at the end of the day, the game is still new, so let's try open up the discussion. in a channel, and let's try communicate with each other and not throw shade at each other and not like forcefully, because at the end of the day, a strong community equals a strong game. The more passion the community is, the more willing devs are putting the time in. And I do wish the devs really, I love the emotes you're adding in, I really do, but I do wish you include, or there's a more mutual ground where we can go to communicate directly to the devs, and the devs can put out a post or put out like a YouTube video explaining where they're at, or doing videos like, oh, this week we are fixing X thing, and gives the players a sigh of relief that they're actually fixing something. Rather than focus on the negative thought in the community. Yes, that should be a focus, but that should be a minor focus compared to where we're at now with the game, where we should be focusing on majority, like how to fix the game and all. I went the wrong way. And I kind of want that for this game. This game needs to be more talkative with each other. And let's try, especially now, because the community is small, the game is over its honeymoon phase. So maybe we can start focusing on how to improve the game, and less on just getting the game working. And hopefully the community, hopefully got rid of all the bad eggs out of the community for the most part, at least of now. Gotcha players are always they're going to, how to say this, like without being mean. Gotcha players are always going to cry, even if they get delivered the best game of their lives. They're just going to cry about everything. Let's try not listen to them. And let's try focus on building a better community, a stronger community, and a helpful community and more welcome. Because my first year in Warframe, I was looking for a part. I was looking for this part ages, and then someone came into my stream and donated me the part, and now that part has been a lot of that part has been a lot of, I put that part to use and I haven't sold that part or haven't done anything to that part. And the better option is another thing that I like to add that's really useful in Warframe. With streamers, a lot of people would like to gift streamers stuff rather than having a sub, or rather than like giving content creators stuff. Rather than having all that, would it be hard to add a gift system where a player wants to give a streamer an item in game that you have to pay currency for, but streamer don't wanna, even though they should have all the money in the world to do it. But that's not the point. Even if they do have all the money in the world to do it, it should be an option to give cosmetics to other players. So even if it's not streamers, even if someone wants to go and Even if someone wants to be like nice to players or be nice to the community, give back to the community, give back to the hours that they put into the game and help other players, and so they don't waste their time to farm, and it allows the community come together. And even if it's a new player and one player gives, how I got my friends into Warframe, one player gave me some, and then I said, oh, this community is so generous, you should try out this game. The community is so helpful, and they tried it out and they end up loving it. All it takes is just one player to give something to other players, and that one player, once he gives something to that one player, he gives back. Or like he would spread his word about the game, and then he's like, oh, the game is really, it's boring, it's not, the gameplay isn't great, but the community is amazing. Or they'll say, oh, the game's really good and the community's also really helpful and supportive and generous, and they'll give you stuff, you just don't ask, and they'll come forward. And there's always in a bright future in terms of, if there's good karma, there's always bad karma. And try and focus on a game that's more sensational, that's, you're not stuck there just AFKing, because a lot of the complaints I'm seeing, at least in the global chat, the game is too AFK, or it's why I quit Warframe. It's because you just go in and sit AFK in missions. You're not actually, it doesn't feel like you're playing the game. It feels like you're, oh, here's a template, or here's a game that's half done. You get the AFK because the enemies are not strong enough to kill you. I wonder how hard that would have been in terms of coding, where you can just time, like, a player sits AFK for like 10 minutes, then up to 10 acts. Like, up like the damage up by 10 times, so the player's forced to move, or the enemy nearly one-shots them, and then they're forced to move, and then they have to use their revive, because in terms of late game / end game of this game, I don't have to move until wave 18 in exploration, sitting AFK. Yes, I do like being able to sit AFK, because that means, because me having ADHD, I can focus on like doing repair parts or doing other work and half like focus on the game. But even with someone that has ADHD, I rather play the game. I rather be the game more interactive with me, less me just sit there and just sit there and AFK. Maybe we could nerf the rewards for the AFK. The AFK is the big issue from what I've seen. I mean, the one fix that they could do, how I see it, is just nerf the skill damage on how long you're AFK. So you're not stuck in this AFK kind of genre, where we just sit AFK, because it's going to get a bad rep later on. Right now, it might not have that bad rep, but I can see it very late during the game cycle where people are just going to say, if you want to play an AFK game, play Duet Abyss. It's not going to be, if you want to play a good game, play Duet Abyss. And in terms of like demon wedges, yes, demon wedges are good. The way the gold ones are good, they are really good how they're done. But I would like a way to earn the gold wedges full built from like a boss, or like a week, like you could do a weekly boss, but not really. from like raid bosses, like if you decide to add raid bosses that are timed events, where it will get people constantly on the game and rush into one area, timed raid bosses that are ridiculously overpowered that you need about 20 to 50 people just to beat one, and it drops a full gold award, a full like either a full genie mon or a full demon wedge, fully done at gold, or the true damage, or focus on multiple stuff. Because at the moment, it feels like right now, as this current second for me, my daily, how it looks in my daily like playing is go in, do my dailies, which yes, good idea, devs, great idea on the dailies. Then spend time farming for secret letters, so I can focus on building my characters up, building all the weapons, and then kind of focus, then kind of come back and focus this, or focus the demon wedge last. Or what you could also do, this for the devs, you could also do a free battle pass, because the rewards are not that great for having a paid battle pass. So what if we do free battle pass, but instead of us paying for the battle pass, you can add skins or cosmetics that you can directly pay for, rather than doing tip the tat. Is like pay less and more, or pay for better genie mon for X element, or rather than focusing on elements, what they could do with more demon wedges, if they don't focus on the elements so much, they can add different effects to demon wedges. Like you can have things piercing through armor, or you can have things that give a toxic effect to the weapon, where then you can add like demon wedges with toxic effect, or do like Warframe has. They do fire, they do heat and ice creates blast, or heat and toxic create gas. Ice and toxic creates viral. Toxic and electric creates corrosive, which gets rid of armor, and they all have their own special props. And more focus on the weapons entirely, rather than focusing on the character, because the character can always be broken. In games like this, the character can always be broken. Someone's gonna find something. It's just, we just kind of want a little bit more freedom as a player, rather than just being, oh, this is the best build, you go with this build, you don't do anything else but this build, and then this is the best weapon for this character, this is the best characters for them, this is the best team that you want to use. It feels very lackluster in a way, where we're kind of just forced. There's no bounties, as I said. Like, we could, a little thing that they could do that I notice, yes, the quest line it feels great. It does feel great to have it. It's something unique. in a loot shooter game, it is unique to have that quest line. But also, with this like kind of thing, the quest line, one of the first characters, Camila, I was only saying to my chat is that you only meet her in the first chapter. After that, you don't come in here and talk to Camila at all. So what if we had a situation where you could have the higher risk ones? The higher risk ones, you can go up to Camila and you go into the underground, you go into the vault of the Hyperation army, and there's a chance that you can get like 5 crafted golden wedges or a guaranteed weapon. You get a guaranteed weapon with no extra crafting to it because it feels way too heavy on the coin system and the currencies to force us players to do that. And then if we go up to here, or we can have like Lynn here, essentially, and you go up to her and you get low risk, you get a low risk bounties where you're you just get like a reward, like something simple like more demon wedges, or like you get a X time boost or an XP boost or more drop chances for X amount of time. Something that you could just get by just playing the game. But there is that bounty feeling there, and people will more go out. Like the commissions feel more like a bounty when they could just put that into the characters themselves and be more lazy with it. It's lazy in quotation marks. But yes, they have to create like some, like the bounties will be cool. I know Warframe players, some people do like the open world. And then if you really wanted to, you could take a book out, Warframe's book, with the Aya, and then you can have characters available, and then you release their upgraded version, which will be their ultimate, which, yes, you want to keep the characters constantly available, but you keep their base level available, and then you get kind of their upgraded version, where they're more stronger, they hit harder, much heavier, they have the weapons hit heavier, everything hits heavier, and it doesn't feel more like a gacha. It feels more like expanding that gacha. And it's less you focusing on, well, how do I get the gacha crowd in? It'd be more focusing, how do I get the Warframe and the First Ascendant crowd and the Destiny crowd to play this game? Even Borderlands, like, try focus more on the loot shooters, the people that play the hack and slashes, the people that enjoy them games, the people that enjoy grinding, like, because these players that are playing this still, they are your Warframe players, they are your Destiny players, they are your First Ascendant players, they are your Borderlands players. They still play because they enjoy the game, they enjoy the grind. But second that grind stops, you're gonna need more content. So putting out a quest every once a month is a little bit unrealistic, to put it the least. So putting a quest out every month a little bit unrealistic, and it's going to be rushed, and then we're going to hate the quest because won't feel like, oh, they put a lot of work into it. Just feel like, oh, they rushed this quests just to have more content into the game, rather than, oh, they rushed this, or rather than like, oh, they took their time with this quest. There's more to the story that we're not seeing with the eye, or even a chance to replay the story. My major concern with the quests as well, allows us to see what kind of quests we've already done. Even if it's in like an archive or something, you kind of can't really see what quests you've completed, which would be nice in terms of people like me. I'm a completionist. I would like to complete everything in the game. Hold on, give me 1 sec. And more kind of, please just focus. Devs, lock in. I believe in you. I'm going to continue to play your game, but I will get burned out of the same loose stuff over and over. Try come up with continuous ideas. Try to come up with like events, or even better, if this is possible. I know we have our sanctuary, but rather than us just adding characters into sanctuary, I have an idea that you could do. How about you just give us a blank kind of canvas, or just give us a building with no furniture or anything in it. Then we go get the blueprints for the furniture, and we can customize the place up, which gives us a little bit more freedom as the player itself. And we can create our teams, and we can design our own teams in our own like kind of like home-ish, or where we are like hub area. And then we can invite players, like friends, over to our home, and we can like chill out and have like a little meet and greet in our homes, and we can show them off, and it'd be much more directed to more cosmetics and more freedom. Because right now I would love to have a Christmas tree up in here, but they don't have a Christmas tree cosmetic in the game, or there's no real feeling, or there's no Christmas vibe right now in Duet Abyss, even though it's coming into Christmas season. Yes, I know you Americans, you celebrate fucking Thanksgiving, but over here in EU, we rather just celebrate Christmas. As of right now, I don't know about the rest of the world. I don't know about the rest of the world having their stuff, if they have another event. But we kind of would like to do this. Okay.